Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin flew away. Batman lost his underpants on the M6 motorway. Hey! Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays, and all that other nonsense. Merry winter, whatever you celebrate. It's Christmas Games World here at Retro and Limb, yes. It's become something of an Xmas tradition that I take a look back at this particular series on Christmas Day. Except, it probably isn't Christmas Day today. Certainly today, as I'm recording this, is the 14th of November. And that gives away how long it takes me to edit these things. But anyway, Merry Wintermas and such, because it's time to break into our sister's bedroom once again for another episode of Games World. Except there is no real studio audience tonight. We're on location in some shopping centre somewhere. I have no idea who Philip Edgar Jones is. Oh my goodness! The head on that reindeer is moving from side to side! It looks like the sort of thing that might come alive in the night and eat you. That's a rather large Christmas tree as well. Oh dear. If you've ever played Bomberman 64, then you'll probably have developed a healthy dislike of such Christmas trees.
A man with his own personal hotline to Santa Claus, Jeremy Daldry.
S-A-N-T-A-C-L-A-U-S, hooray for Santa Claus. Na-na-na-na-na-na. S-A-N-T-A-C-L-A-U-S, hooray for Santa Claus. Na-na-na-na-na-na.
Everybody wants to...
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that, because I certainly didn't. Do you think that was live singing, or dubbed? How could it be dubbed? It's live. And if you look at the lady there with her mellow yellow phone doing the overacting, isn't that Barry's agent from Barry TV? Most likely. I don't know who that other woman is, but fax machines? Who cares about fax machines? Who wants to win a fax machine?
Television. Back to you, Phil. Whoa, yes, thank you very much, Jeremy. We're rocking out here.
And we're off back to this shopping centre. He's got his bit of tinsel on his microphone. Maybe he got that as a Christmas present. Somebody just gave that to him and said, "Hey, would you like a Christmas present?" "Sure, I'll take a free Christmas present." "Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, you're now the presenter on an obscure show on Sky One at 6 p.m. on a weekday evening." We are indeed live tonight, although this part here is pre-recorded, and it gives these dudes the chance to take a quick break from the madness of live TV. We're just about to see them swinging around on these ropes here, which presumably is a common thing to do at night, wherever the heck these guys are from.
A funny lot for Cornish. Way too many Cornish pasties, if you ask me.
It's only macho when I'm doing it.
Macho? Macho? Chris. That's short for Christine, isn't it? Big Jesse's one and all. Take a look at this.
Being at the top of the leaderboard with the Duffies is great, but it's not good enough. We've got to beat them. Next week I'm going to destroy the enemy.
Santa. I do believe in Santa. I do believe...
Do you think they could have found somewhere better to record this segment? A pub toilet? Oh well. I've seen quite a few vlogs from pub toilets, but there again, that gives away the sort of videos that I watch on YouTube. But anyway, getting back to the video games, we have the home team here, or rather the studio team, who have trekked all the way from Scotland to this mall in London.
Yeah, if you're a natural Cornish environment.
Not bad.
Not bad. What do you think of our strange city ways up here, Bert?
it's really horrible with all these people in this massive superstore here.
Well, I've got a bit of a feeling they're a bit freaked out here in West Surrey, so maybe you could take advantage of it and phone in now, because if you win, you will win this incredible prize, a Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Now, this poor lady here, not only is her name Kevin, which is a very unfortunate name for a woman, but she's just about to be sacked, and that is a poor Christmas joke, I'm afraid. Although if you watched again the next week, she was back.
Your house next week and spend Christmas. Talking of Christmas, Jeremy, if you go away, Kevin, you're sacked. Have you got me any presents yet?
But let's cut back to the studio because Jezza is here once again in his fantastic waistcoat, and he is teasing the cameraman in his usual fashion. And the clocks in the background, oh, they're correct. 6:05. The game's master clocks in Series 3 were always wrong. They were stuck on 6:30. Ah! I only want live TV. Oh, did they ever do any live episodes of Games Master? I think they did one. I'll have to look that up and do a commentary on it. I'll see if I can get Monkey Spaz to join me. Let's have a look at some of the cards that Jeremy has received here. This is far too pixelated for me to make out, but he's got a piece of tinsel there, just slapped there. That one there says, "Where's Bob Mills? I miss him." Yes, I miss Bob Mills as well. Where is he? Bring him back. I want some me-dinner action in here. I'm looking at the recommended videos here, and I can see a thumbnail of Mr. Bob Mills, and he is in front of a television on which there is a goalkeeper punching a striker in the face, it would seem. The video is World Cup Heroes and Villains, and it's got 4,727 views. That's a bit of a weird recommended video. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Yeah, I played it in the arcade.
So you're a bit good.
Yeah, I'm brilliant.
You're brilliant. Well, Phil, we've got somebody who's a bit good and brilliant. What do you got?
Well, we've got Chris McCann, the team leader here. Chris, it's a good game for you, isn't it?
It's good, yeah.
Bugs Bunny, why is he here? What has he got to do with Christmas? My guess is that... Oh, once again, there was just a guy walking around on the street in a Bugs Bunny costume, and they said, "Oh, well, we're filming an obscure Saturday evening television show, and we'd like you to come in. We'll pay you in carrots." And he accepted immediately. Chris versus Chris. I am not familiar with this particular game, but it looks like another one of those Street Fighter clones. Well, if you've played Street Fighter, you have no need for any other fighting game ever in your whole life. The only reason games such as this exist is to appear on shows such as this, obscure shows such as this.
Oh, yes! That's round one. Round one to the phone team.
Even the music sounds like Street Fighter here, doesn't it? Sorry, this game is probably fantastic. But there again, they probably only used it on this show because the makers of the game said, "Here, if you use our game, we'll give you £10 a week." "Okay," said Jeremy Daldry as he sat there in his gold-plated chair, watching his gold-plated television, drinking from his silver-plated mug. Doesn't want to appear too flashy, you see.
We'll be out. Chris on the phones again. A nice start here playing Joe Higashi. Chris from the home team playing Andy Bogart. Could this be a perfect? Could we be on for a perfect victory? Chris from the home team's got stuck up the corner, of course. When he gets stuck up the corner, it's very difficult to get out, but he's done a very nice jump over Chris on the phone's head, and he's well out of that now. Standing slightly back at the moment, still no dent, and Chris is on the phone team's energy bar. Chris on the home team's not looking good.
Okay, Bugs Bunny is getting far too into this. I didn't know Bugs Bunny was a game fan. A sad fact, but Bugs Bunny is probably dead these days. They only live to be about 5, don't they? And he was invented some 100 years ago.
Wonderful victory for Chris Pearson from Stourbridge. That's the first victory for the phone team. And there he is, his magnificent name splayed across our equally magnificent winners board. Great stuff. That's the first win, the first victory, it's first blood for the phone teams. Back to you, Phil.
First blood indeed, Jeremy. Well, we're very disappointed here in West Thurrock. Chris, the team captain, that's a bit disappointing. Are you okay, though?
Ah, look at the bauble hats that they're wearing here. They are literally bauble hats because, look, they're regular caps with baubles on top. Hey! Brilliant. Oh, the lift. Well, normally they'd be banished to the pit, but because this is Series 1 and Series 1 sucks, they're going to be banished to the scary last lift. They are indeed very scary if you have a fear of heights and feel like throwing yourself off the top of a high building once you're up there. But here is James Pond, once again, a favourite of Hewland. He appeared lots of times in Games Master and Games World. And we have, oh, stop making me hungry there, Jez. Oh, I really fancy some fish now. Some Christmas fish.
From Bury. John, you there?
Yes, Jerry.
Whereabouts in Bury did you come from?
Ramsbottom.
Do you really?
That's so chuckle-worthy, that. Ramsbottom, because it's like the backside of a ram, but it's not really funny if you come from Ramsbottom, is it? Although the kid seems very cheery here. Let's listen to him.
Really? Well, that's wonderful. Well, Phil, we've got somebody from Ramsbottom who's about to go.
Well, unfortunately, he's not going to speak again, so let's just get into the game. Well, for newcomers to this series, I should remind you that these games sections of the show were played via a special device, which is attached to the touch-tone phone, and basically the kid could play the game from his house on a 20-second delay. Well, it wasn't quite 20 seconds, more like 3 or 4 seconds, but if you've ever played PS1 games on a PS3, it's that sort of input lag. Ooh, that was a cheap shot, wasn't it? One day I'll play Brian Lara Cricket, the PS1 game on PS3, and oh, you're in for a treat if you do that, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I'm sliding in! No. The commentary is much like that. Much like this show, I should say.
5-0, 3,150 for John Ishwood from Ramsbottom in Bury.
Yes, he had to mention Ramsbottom there again, as the poor kid goes down in the very scary elevator, which was relatively high-tech for 1993. This show was broadcast during Christmas 1993 and was uploaded by the fantastic Martin Payne, who's provided episodes for me to commentate over in the past. Although I don't believe he's ever actually explicitly given me permission to do that. I just went ahead and did it because I'm a swine and I just do things without asking permission. I'm the sort of person who barges in front of you in the queue and just gets on a bus without paying. As long as the driver's not watching, it's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do that. Or at least if you do, don't tell anybody I told you to do that, because we're gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be sacked from my job as a bus driver. No!
Stuck on that, you've got stuck on the spikes, you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful, Paul, you could lose your life. You've lost your life, Paul. Paul Pellegrinotti has lost his life. Only scoring 1,000 points, which is sad, but hey, life's sad, what can I say?
Life is just a piece of fruit, or something like that. Anyway, phone player wins game 1, phone player wins game 2. So, 2 of you are out, you swines over there in the blasted mall. Oh, look at that! We have a crowd. Hey, once again, just people from the street. Or maybe just kids walking around the mall. Hey kid, would you like a lollipop? Come and watch us film the show. Bugs Bunny's gonna be there. Not at all creepy. Not at all creepy.
Jeremy, it's back to you for the next game.
Well, Phil, it's time to enter yet another world of violence and pent-up aggression.
Oh boy, violence and pent-up aggression, my favourite. Oh, not another fighting game. Although, I guess these are quite good for this format of show. Ooh, the referee in the background there, his knocking knees. He's scared to death. Oh, I can't referee this match. Violence, no. Right, let's go to the faxes. Can you read these? Happy birthday, David Litherland, for the 18th of Deck. Ben says hello to Taunton Manor School. Hi there, Taunton Manor School, if you're all watching. And you're not dead by this point. Man, it has been a long time. Apologies if you actually are dead. So, should Jez keep his sideburns? 22 no. 7 yes. Well, I'd say yes, because my sideburns are almost as long as his, and it would be hypocritical for me to say otherwise. Actually, they're about the same length as this guy in shot right now. I've forgotten his name. He's so forgettable like much of Series 1. This is not an even fight, is it? Once again, we've got the knocking knees of the referee, but he would be scared. Look at that! It's a massive American footballer versus this Bruce Lee knockoff, and just randomly, bolts of lightning are coming from the roof. Who's doing that? Has Raiden from Mortal Kombat popped in to take a look what's going on, and he's getting bored? Oh, let's just zap these people randomly. Hey!
There by that large lightning bolt which got Greg on the phones.
Look at that, Bert, in inverted commas. Must be his nickname. I'd like to hear your crazy nicknames, ladies and gentlemen. I would tell you the origin of my crazy nickname, but it's not crazy, and please don't say it is. Anyway, video games. Sorry, I'm not necessarily enamored by this game, although I do like the American footballers fetching yellow trousers there. Very good indeed. How come these blasted American footballers make their way into these fighting games? Big Fridge Johnson, he entered the fighting tournament because, oh, his manager was sick of him, and he wanted to get revenge, oh! Ooh, and it's a whitewash for the phones. Yes, the phones win. It should be repeated that not only were the kids at home using their touch-tone phones and the strange device contraption thing to play the game, but the kids in the studio were as well. Now, I've got to say that this thing, this machine, was the highest of high tech back in '93, and it's explained in another episode of Games World, not a live one unfortunately. House of Games, that was it. There was a special feature in that show, and I'll probably link that up in the description. Or not, because I always forget. So, we saw the kid then, going back down in the lift. That was the last of the 3 that they had, so nobody is left in the studio. Or rather, the shopping centre, in this case. And so, they're going to have to chat to these kids about nonsense. Oh, hold on a sec. What's this kid got to say?
Of course, you had a little message, didn't you, for Jeremy Daldry?
Get rid of Sideburns.
Get rid
Get rid of the sideburns. I tell you what, Jezza, if you get rid of them, I'll get rid of mine as well. What do you reckon, Jeremy? Is it a deal? I'll bet you 10 quid. It can go to charity for Movember. Except it's not Movember anymore, it's December. And, oh dear, I'm talking myself into a hole. Oh, look at that! The break has arrived to save me from this nonsense. I would insert some nostalgic adverts here, but the video will probably be taken down by overzealous copyright holders. Copyright, how I hate you. You are simultaneously my savior and my enemy. Swine. Oh, don't do this! You're making me dizzy! I wish you wouldn't do that.
Unfortunately, the home team, who we've brought up from Cornwall, have all been knocked out, so we've got...
So don't forget, there's no contestants left. Oh, I saw Bugs Bunny in the background. He was just about to go mad. He was thinking, oh, can I go home yet? There's nobody left here except these kids dancing around. There's no contestants left. What's the point? Can I go back to my warren? Hello, Mum. Hello, Mum. Hey. Is that a bloke on the right with the pants, with the very fetching red pants? I wonder why he has to wear those. That's strange. Yes, he's a bit of an odd one out here in the Games World Babes team. Oh dear. Right. It's time for some cool spot. I absolutely loved this game as a kid. This looks like the SNES version, which had better music. Tommy Tallarico, I believe, was the musician for both versions. And to this day, I still hum those tunes. But you're not going to hear much of those tunes, or at least not a variety of them, because these poor kids are going to be stuck on level 1. After all, how far can you actually get using a touch-tone phone and one of those machine thingy-majigs? Not very, as you will soon see. Apologies for spoiling this. But it must be very, very difficult to get past these crabs with a touch-tone phone and a 3-second delay. Haha! Come on, collect those spots! They give you loads and loads of points! Quick, move right, right, right. You know, if they brought this show back today, surely they would have fixed this problem of the lag. Although, there will always be broadcast delay, unless you're actually there on site. So I propose a new, live version of this show, where we all get together in a building, in a big, disused hangar or something. Maybe one of the old sets from Games World or Games Master, and host our own live version. We can club together some HD cameras and film the thing. Then we'll put out a 10-episode series on YouTube, and nobody will watch it. But at least we can say that we've done it, and we've wasted our time, and been thrown out of this set by the hermit who now lives in there claiming squatters' rights. He is a lot like the hermit crab in this game that is causing many people many problems. See what I did there? A very clever segue. Oh, incidentally, speaking of segues, this is not relevant, but my grandfather was telling us all about these contraptions that he was calling steamrollers. And we wondered what on earth he was on about. There were people driving around on steamrollers at football matches and cricket matches and at the marathon to film proceedings. And we thought, what on earth is he on about? Steamrollers? Steamrollers? You don't go to public events with steamrollers unless you were a mass murderer or something. It turned out he was talking about segways, those personal transportation devices. Segways! So now, every time I see a Segway, I say, oh look, it's a steamroller. A totally irrelevant story, but I'm sorry, I should talk about Cool Spot because we've almost finished with this game. A wonderful, wonderful game that I would highly recommend. Spot, of course, was the mascot of 7-Up, and poor old Fido Dido was kicked into touch. I believe actually Spot was created for the purposes of the game though, so you can't say he was a shameless promo character. I prefer him to Fido Dido, the television promoter of 7-Up, but only because I played the game, and the game is wonderful. How many times do I have to say that? Go and play it, go and buy it. I bought it second hand for about £7 back in the day. Jackson's Court in Wigan, there used to be a game shop. If you want to go there, it's not there anymore. Enough, enough. I think it's almost time to go to the quiz segment.
Yes, well, the home team, of course, are a bit disappointed, but we're okay here. We're just chilling out here with the crowd. Are we chilling out, crowd? Yes! Jeremy, let's get on with the quiz.
Alrighty, Phil, we've reached the ultimate, the very high point of every gamer's life, the Games World live interactive quick-fire quiz. John and Greg have both proved themselves as the very toppest games players.
Right, this is the way the game should be played. The question and answer segment of the show. We've got the kids at home, and they have to answer these questions.
And find out, is Echo the Dolphin available on the Mega CD?
No, it isn't.
Yes.
It is. What is the full name of this game? Yoshi's what?
Island.
Greg?
Island.
No, it's Safari.
Oh, I would have said Island as well. Difficult one. Yoshi's Safari, I don't remember that. There was also Yoshi's Cookie, but it didn't look like a cookie game. Oh, that was Ghouls and Ghosts.
Trivial Pursuit or Nigel Mansell's World?
It's Nigel Mansell, of course. What else could it be? Nigel Mansell, does he actually appear in that game? Oh, I wish he would appear on these shows with his moustache.
Which Arnold Schwarzenegger character is this? John.
Robocop, and he's not played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, it's the Terminator.
It's the Dominator! You should have known that!
Who is this? John.
Obviously the Bobcat.
And you've got that point back. What sport do you play in the John Madden range of games? John.
American football.
That's right.
Oh, that was easy, come on.
The hero flashback, use a gun or a... John.
He's got Conrad, and he's a scientist.
Sorry?
He's a scientist.
No, you jumped in too quickly there, Johnny boy. Time's running out. The pudding is about to explode.
This is Robin Hood. True or false?
That's Link, of course.
False.
That's quite right, because it's Zelda. 40 to John.
Wait, what? Hold on a sec. I'm going to scrub back and see what he said there. That didn't sound right. No, he did. He said that Link was Zelda. I just scrubbed back, and he said that Link from Zelda was actually Zelda. Well, that's a beginner's mistake there, Jez. Oh well, it's Fast and Furious right now, so we'll forgive you. You're miles better than Bob Mills anyway. Hey. Oh! That pudding was laced with explosive. And even the people in the studio reacted to that. Yes, just walk around and look busy. Do you think that's what they're doing? They're just paid to walk around in Lycra.
Going to Ramsbottom.
Ramsbottom, what a peculiar name. Oh, congratulations.
Well, Jezza, I wish I could find you in my Christmas stocking. Now, look at this leaderboard that we have here, which was drawn in felt pen. It took 10 seconds to do that. I wonder if Bugs did it himself. He just wants to go home now. In fact, they've all had enough of this. They've been retrieved from the depths of despair, from the pit, from the ground floor. They had to walk back up the stairs. That was their punishment for losing. And now, they're gutted. They're not the Christmas champions. Like the Christmas #1, the Games World Christmas champion status was highly sought after by 2 people in the country. And I was one of them, so I've no idea who the other person was. That's it. Our time has run out. Our half-an-hour slot has been exhausted, and, well, to be honest, I'm also exhausted after that. I think I'm gonna go and find Bugs Bunny, punch him in the gonads, steal his carrots and say, "Oi, how come you got to appear on Games World, and I didn't?" Merry Christmas, Retro and Limmers.